What's up, kaiju lovers? We have the kaiju lord from the legendary Oxygen Destroyer, the number one Godzilla-themed death metal slash thrash metal band. Some people say black metal. I don't know what they're on about. I don't know where that came from. But Oxygen Destroyer smokes the floor of Gojira. All right, screw Gojira. They're not the Oxygen Destroyer. So I want to know from you, what are your top 10 Godzilla films from 10 to 1?
All right.
So number
So
10.
yeah. Uh I don't know if I can do it in a particular order, but maybe I can
Okay.
go in order of like the release dates.
Okay, yeah,
Like,
whatever. However
yeah.
autistically you want this done, I'm down for it.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, yeah, I mean, I think my number one for sure, like no contest, is definitely the original Godzilla movie
Okay,
from
so
1954.
so I'm gonna write down Godzilla 54 as number one from the start.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that one, man. It's for 1954, the special effects are incredible. And it does a really good job with the anti-nuclear warfare theme. You know, it has a good message around, built around the really cool special effects and action sequences, and it has some truly harrowing moments. Some really sad moments. Like one scene that always stood out to me is when the woman's cradling her children as they're about to die, and she tells them they're going to be with their father soon.
Yeah.
It hits hard. It has something for everyone. It has some strong themes, some strong characters, and it's got some really good special effects and kaiju action. The suit looks cool, the miniatures look awesome. I think one of my favorite moments is when he comes on land, during the final destruction scene, and you get that shot where he's crushing through the power lines. Like, those power line miniatures just look so impressive, and the way it's shot, it makes everything look massive.
Yeah, I think my favorite part is when he starts like creeping out of the water at like the start. Like you see him like plop up, then he plops up closer and closer. That's probably my favorite part. We're talking about the
Yeah.
original Japanese, not no freaking what is it, like the Raymond, whatever his name
It,
is.
yeah, the
The
American
original, the
cut.
original. All right. All right.
Yeah, no,
So
Japanese version all the
yeah.
way.
So Godzilla 54 is number one. So let's take it all the way back. What's your favorite of the least favorites, your least favorite of the favorites. So coming in at number 10, what are we
Let's.
starting with here?
I'd say, let's see. If Godzilla 54 is the first one I'm gonna name off, I think my number two movie, or at least the next one that I want to list off, is the original Mothra versus Godzilla.
Okay.
It's
So
it
so
was
how
the
are we doing
first.
this order? So is this like your second favorite?
This is just like my top 10 films, but in no particular order. I'm
Okay,
just
so
gonna.
so I'll put Mothra at
Yeah,
the top then. Okay,
yeah.
so
I'm gonna
Mothra.
I'm gonna list it in order of the years the films came
Okay.
out. So like
Okay.
the first six movies are Showa films, and then after that it's gonna be Heisei and Millennium stuff.
Okay. Okay. So you like the cheesed fest Godzillas.
It depends. I do
Yeah.
think that the early mid '60s Godzilla movies, some of them have some pretty solid writing. That's one reason I love the original Mothra versus Godzilla movie a lot. I like how the whole story is built around how greed can bring destruction, because it's greed that leads to everything that goes wrong. Like, they ask those two men to return Mothra's egg, and they don't because they want to make money off it. And then next thing you know, all the chaos throughout the movie ensues. And yeah, I really like the original Mothra versus Godzilla movie a lot. It's got that one's also got some really cool special effects. It's actually got a pretty serious tone too. It was also the first Godzilla movie I ever owned.
Okay, so it
So
has like a
there,
nostalgia element
yeah,
to it.
definitely. Yeah, I was like 5 years old when I watched it, and when I had that VHS, I mean, I watched it like every day, dude. I was like so into it. I would build like Lego blocks and like crush the buildings
Yeah.
during the destruction scenes. I
Yeah,
would. It
Mothra's
was.
huge in that movie. Mothra
Yeah,
like
yeah,
powers Godzilla.
yeah, yeah. I love honestly, Mothra is my second favorite monster in the franchise. I really like Mothra a lot. She's the queen of the monsters.
Right, yeah. All right, what's next?
The next one I'm going to list off is the film that comes right after that, and that is Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. I
Okay.
love.
So, yeah.
In fact, that might be my second favorite in the whole franchise overall, if I really had to go into details, because I just love that one, man. I mean, I love the roster. You know, you get Ghidorah, Mothra, Rodan, Godzilla. It's kind of cool how, you know, you can watch the first few Godzilla films and the solo Rodan and Mothra movies, and they all kind of come together in this film, kind of the same way that all this MCU stuff, you know,
Yeah, that was the
popularized
original
back
that was like the
again.
original collaboration, like the original Justice League, the original Avengers. You
Yeah,
like that one better than Astro Monster?
Mm, just a little bit.
Just a
I'm
little bit.
definitely gonna. Yeah, I think just a little bit. Yeah. Well, I mean, I love Astro Monster. You know, Astro Monster has a really good human story, but I think Ghidorah does too. Which, you know, I want to throw that out there real quick. It's like I know there's a common it's like a common what's the word stereotype maybe that every kaiju film ever has terrible stories and people just want to see monsters. You know, obviously the monsters are what we want to see, like it's all about the monster action, but I do appreciate when these movies can build that action around a solid story, you know.
Yeah, when I was a kid, like I would watch like Destroy All Monsters, and I would like skip to like the last fight because that's only like the like kaiju action in that film. But nowadays,
Yeah,
I don't know if like I'm an old fart, but I like the like story building. I like to actually like have a somewhat of a substance with my Godzilla, you know.
yeah, I agree. And you know, it's
Yeah,
funny too because to be fair, Destroy All Monsters, I mean, as much as I love it, that does have one of the weaker stories. Like,
yeah, for sure. That one's kind
you
of
know,
just drags.
I,
Yeah.
yeah, I still love it, but compared to the other 60s ones, I don't think it's quite as good as the ones I'm going to be naming off.
Okay, all right. I'm excited to see what else. I think I can already name a few that'll be there. All right,
Yeah,
what's next? What's next?
I'd say the next one would be Invasion of the Astro Monster, which is
Okay,
also
okay.
also known as versus Monster Zero. Yeah, I love that one. You know, what's cool about that one is if you removed the monsters from it, it still makes for a pretty solid 60s sci-fi alien invasion story, and the special effects kind of remind me of the original Star Trek series, which it even predates the original
Right.
Star Trek.
I think Invasion has some stock footage that just doesn't hold up. Like when they're descending off of like the spacecraft into like the planet, you can just like tell immediately that it's just like a like little tiny like plastic guy, like a little toy soldier, just like. But
Yeah,
I mean,
that
other than that, yeah,
it's
I
got some silly moments. The dance, the iconic dance
yeah,
scene. I mean, it's silly.
the
It's like a
iconic
good
Godzilla
silly.
dance. I mean,
Yeah,
it has classic. Every Godzilla movie has to like do something. You know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely.
Like we have the introduction of like Godzilla being a superhero in the previous one you mentioned, Ghidorah, Invasion, first time he's in space, the first dance meme. So, you know,
Yeah,
we have something to talk about with each one. All right, so good picks so far. So we have two more for Showa, as you say.
yeah. The next one for me is gonna be Godzilla versus Hedorah, also known as
Okay.
versus the Smog Monster. I love how weird that one is. It's like an avant-garde film. I love the 70s psychedelic soundtrack. I love the anti-pollution theme.
Yeah, it
And
has
honestly,
a good
yeah,
earthy like Green Thumb type of storyline. We have some cheesy 70s cartoon little like sprinkets in there, some trippy, you know, crazy psychedelic stuff for sure.
yeah, it's got some good fight scenes too. I mean, the final fight's like 20 minutes long. It's pretty epic. And I personally really love the flying part because you know
When he
if you think
flies with
about
his
it, if
atomic
you
breath.
if you remove the flying scene, most of the movie is actually pretty serious, you know, except maybe like the weird moments. But I was reading somewhere that the reason for the part where he flies was because they wanted to lighten the movie a bit because it was so serious all throughout. And I think it was a good choice. It's a really fun scene, and I kind of like how it kind of establishes that Godzilla's power is unlimited. I mean, the motherfucker learned how to fly. If he can fly, he can do anything.
What does he pull out of Hedorah? What are those two balls? What are those two balls he pulls out?
You know, I've heard two different things. I still need to research and figure out which is official, but I've heard that some have said that it's Hedorah's eyes he's pulling out, and some have also said it could be Hedorah's eggs. It's one of those. Those are the two things I've always heard. I'm not sure
Wow.
exactly which one's official, but I gotta look into that for sure.
Okay. So we have one more for Showa. Let me guess. Is it the first Mechagodzilla film?
Not the first one, but the one after it,
Wow.
Terror of
So you
Mechagodzilla.
prefer Terror of
Yeah, just a little
Mechagodzilla.
bit. like I love Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. Like it's faster paced, it has more action, but I think Terror is just like a really solid final film for the Showa era, and it goes back to that darker, more serious tone. I think it has a really awesome story. I think Katsura is one of the best human characters in the series. She has a good character arc with her, because she's basically a cyborg now and she's struggling to regain her humanity. And when I know this sounds cheesy, but when her and her love interests, when he tells her that he still loves her even if she's a cyborg, that's the moment where she sacrifices herself and saves the whole universe, because when she shuts down Mechagodzilla too and allows Godzilla to finish him off. I think it's cool how the first hour of the movie takes its time to develop its characters and set up its story, and then those last like 20 or 30 minutes are just some of the best kaiju action in the Showa era. It's got some really good destruction scenes. I like Titanosaurus too. I think it's cool how his tail can create hurricane winds. Yeah, I really like that one. And there's also that really epic scene where Godzilla's like running towards Mechagodzilla and he's just like running through all these explosions. The fucking back of the suit even lights on fire, and he's still going for it.
I always like the part where he lifts up Godzilla with like his nose. It's just like so like unnaturally just
yeah,
like
I
huge.
love it.
So you like I'm surprised you like that better than the first Mechagodzilla. I think King Caesar just like does nothing for that film.
I love
It
King
just like
Caesar.
he just like shows up and acts goofy, and that like song that the lady sings is like 3 minutes long. It's like, oh
Hell
my
yeah, it is.
God. It's like, oh my
Yeah, I
God.
love King Caesar. I love how he's like one of those Shiza statues, like a lion guardian in
Yeah.
kaiju form. I think he puts up a pretty good fight too. I love how he can like absorb someone's laser beam and then shoot it at the other. I
Shoot
thought
it
that
back.
was,
Yeah.
plus
Yeah.
there's that really cool scene where Godzilla's holding Mechagodzilla down and King Caesar's just ramming into him multiple
Yeah.
times. Yeah, that
Classic
movie's got a really good final
classic
fight. I mean, I
stuff.
still love that one a lot.
Okay, so no Gigan, no Megalon, none of get
No,
that out of here.
yeah, like
Get
I
that out
enjoy
of
those
here.
movies. I
Yeah,
enjoyed them, but
obviously, but they don't
there's
they don't
better.
hold a flame. All right, so now
Yeah,
we move on to the Heisei series.
yes, and
That
the
was
next,
six. We got four. Yeah, four more spots. So the 70s and
yeah,
60s took up a majority of your list.
yeah, they were also the first ones. Well, as I was when I was a kid, I kind of discovered it all at once, but I did see most of the show era and then the Heisei, and then I was like caught up just in time for the Millennium series when that was starting to come out. But yeah, the next one for me is gonna be Biolante. I
Okay.
love Biolante.
Violante.
That one ranks really high for me. I think if John Carpenter made a kaiju film, it'd be like that.
Yeah.
Just because like the style of it, the effects, the tone, and I love how like Biolante represents the horrors of biogenetic experiments and weaponization, the same way Godzilla represents the horrors of the atom bomb. It's like on the surface when you watch them fight, you're seeing two big monsters fight each other, but I think there's a small message there that it also represents how you're witnessing the horrors of atom bombs and scientific splicing, gene splicing, like all at once, and yeah, I love that one a lot. I mean, it's some of the best special effects in the whole
Yeah,
franchise
it's
too.
always on top 10 list. Well, I especially like Biolante's movie because it kind of starts the theme of like Godzilla's kind of fighting like a clone of himself, which is like a
Mm-hmm.
common theme of like the Heisei films of like
True.
Godzilla's always fighting like another version of like Godzilla either created in like a lab or created through like a
Yeah.
space cloud or whatever it may be. Same with
Yeah,
like
it's true.
Orga, fighting like the clone of like Godzilla, which is Orga when he is like tries to assimilate him. But yeah, even so, Biollante has a good heartfelt story with the scientist's daughter and
Agreed.
the crazy like assassin throughout the entire movie. Kind of still has that like 70s Showa feel
Yeah.
to the more 90s Godzilla, which is more
Yeah.
like the stuff I like. I like the Heisei and Millennium stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I love the Heisei series too. In fact, I just started doing kaiju movie screenings at my local theater, and I'm really, really hoping that I can get us to screen the Heisei films at some point, because the Showa movies are screened all the time at film festivals and stuff. I still
Right.
feel like the Heisei series is so elusive outside of people like us, the kaiju community. Like man, Destroya and Biolante, those two in particular, they're some of the best.
Hmm. Well, I feel like it's easier for people to like walk by during like a showing or like an event to just like get a glimpse of like the Showa stuff because there's a lot more like on-screen goofiness action, whereas the Heisei's a lot more like story-driven where you need to actually like sit and like
Yeah.
watch. So it probably isn't like the best setting for like a showing, but try it out. We'll see.
Mm.
Okay, so we got three more left. Biolante was the last one. We skipped over Godzilla 1985. We don't want no Dr. Pepper ads.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, dude, real quick, I just gotta say the Japanese version, Return of Godzilla, is awesome. Way better than that American cut.
The only thing I like about the American one is the dialogue that the like new fill-in actor says from the original American one. I forget his name. But like that monologue at the end of like we don't know
Yeah,
what Godzilla is. That's like the only thing that's like good from it. Other than that, it's just like weird.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
I
always
agree.
like talking about Godzilla, and then it's like Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
It's like
You want to know? You want to know a quick fun fact about that movie that I think is kind of obscure.
what?
Um, Akira Toriyama, right? Creator of Dragon
Yeah,
Ball Z
Dragon
and
Ball
all that.
Z.
He's an extra in that movie in
Oh, that's
Return of Godzilla.
hilarious.
Yeah, the scene where all the crowds are running from Godzilla when he wakes up, after the lightning strikes him. He's in that crowd. And if you look on, if you do some research, you can find a photo of Akira Toriyama like on set as they're filming the
Yeah,
scene. He was a
that's cool.
huge kaiju fan. The Gamera even has a cameo in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. So we got Biolante, we got three more. What's the next one?
The next one's definitely going to be Destoroyah.
Destroyer.
Love that one.
Okay.
It's an excellent final film. It's cool how Junior we see him grow to become an adult Godzilla. The effects in that one are really cool. I love the way it connects with the original movie. And I'll say this too. It's like pulling off human drama is one thing, but when you're able to pull off kaiju drama, I think
Monster
that's
drama, yeah.
because like that scene where Godzilla tries to revive Junior and fails, it's a pretty heart-wrenching scene, because it's like even with all that power, he's not able to bring him back. And then I actually like the fact that he doesn't get the killing blow on Destoroyah,
Yeah,
because it's
yeah,
like,
it's
he's
good.
about to die, so of course the last thing he wants to do is, avenge his son, and he doesn't get the killing blow. The one time he doesn't when he most deserves it. I thought that was a good choice to like make it anticlimactic in a
Yeah,
way that it
something
added to his
something newer.
tragedy.
Yeah.
It's kind of obscure, but there is an alternate ending, and there's footage of it where he does get the killing blow.
Yeah, I think I've seen that before. He like
Yeah,
yeah, he shoots him and then
yeah,
he
it's pretty
starts
cool.
to he starts to melt down, yeah.
He like grabs him by the horn and starts like wailing on him. It's pretty sick, but and I'm glad that there's footage of it. But it does, I think it hits different and better when he doesn't get the killing blow, and it puts the focus on his death more than
Yeah,
killing Destroyer.
for sure.
Yeah, I love that
Um,
one. That one's
yeah,
solid.
Destroy I think is honestly like a top five on like anyone's list that you see at all. Cool design, was
The
supposed to be.
Heisei
We all know
films.
this. Well, most of us know the story was supposed to be the bag on, and then all these other dudes never made it. But Destroy is cool. It's my main and
Yeah,
Destroy All Monsters Melee. That's my main.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
This is what I always tell people: the Showa era is traditional heavy metal. The Heisei era is death metal.
is
Like those are
death
the death
metal.
metal
Yeah.
Godzilla movies.
For sure. So that's it for the Heisei then, if you're going through. So no King Ghidorah, no Batra, no
No,
Space God. Is Space Godzilla the weakest of the Heisei?
I think it is. I still like it. I enjoy it, but the movie was rushed. I think it only had like 6 months of production, and it kind of shows. I mean, for example, that one scene where that space battle scene. That scene could have looked cool, but I think the big thing that holds it back is it takes place in space, but you don't see any stars in the background.
I think no one
It's
just cares about Mogira. It's like
yeah.
we don't care about Mogira. Like what the heck? But do you think I
Yeah.
should have made the Ghost Godzilla film?
Mm, well, we kind of get that in the next film that I'm about to mention.
Oh, so I think I know. I think this one's from 2001. If I do say so. This is probably my favorite if it's GMK.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
I love
GMK.
GMK.
Yeah, that was
Easily the
probably always one
best
of my
Millennium.
favorites, if not my
Yeah.
favorite.
And I forget, have you seen the 90s Gamera trilogy yet? It's
No,
the
I haven't seen any of the Gamer
oh
stuff, but it's the
yeah,
same
so the
director, right?
same director, yeah. I mean, when you want, dude, you will love the 90s Gamera trilogy. When you see them, you'll understand why our whole third album was based on those three movies in particular. They are god tier movies.
For sure. Do you think GMK would have been better if they originally kept Varan and Anguirus to fit with Batra, so it's a lot more like the land creatures instead of just Ghidorah and Mothra in the film?
Well, well, I do. I might be in a minority on this, but like, yeah, I remember doing research, and I know that was the original idea. And I guess Toho themselves wanted Mothra and Ghidorah for marketing purposes.
Right.
Yeah, and normally I'm definitely not a fan of like the studio stepping in to fuck with the script. But to be fair, I get why they did it. I mean, it would have been nice to see Anguirus and Varen, but I do think Mothra and Ghidorah are stronger monsters. So watching the movie, you still have hope that they could beat Godzilla. It's like we all knew that if it was going to be Anguirus and Varan, Godzilla was going to kick their asses. But then
Yeah.
again, I mean, you never know though. It might have been cool. It might have made them stronger, or it might it could have added to the tension, or making them the underdogs. I guess like either way, I'm fine with it. To be honest, like it would have been cool if we got what they were originally going to do, but I also like what we got just fine. I actually really love the idea of Godzilla and Ghidorah's roles being switched. I wouldn't want them to do it.
Switch,
I wouldn't want them to do it
Ghidorah.
ever again, but for that one movie, I thought it was kind of a cool idea that Ghidorah was the good guy for once, and I also like how he's basically Orochi, the eight-headed dragon, with five of his heads removed. So it's not like he's the traditional Ghidorah. It's a
Right.
very
He was supposed to have the
yeah,
8 heads, but he didn't have enough time to like grow them or whatever it
yeah,
was for the plot's sake. But I did like the spiritual type of like moments with this film. It's very original, especially in
yeah,
the ghost of the original Godzilla seeking vengeance, with the pure white eyes, the thick body, the big toes. It's very unique
yeah.
stuff.
It has a very bold story too. Like it gets pretty deep because like the whole idea of it is that the people who died in World War II, the people who suffered war crimes, use Godzilla's corpse and revive him to get revenge on Japan for
On
war crimes.
Japan
And
for forgetting, yeah,
yeah,
forgetting
I
the
thought I
war
thought that
and
was a very strong story and a very bold one, and I really commend them for that. And I thought they did it very well. Yeah, so I love that. I mean, our second album, the first three songs are based on that movie. I love that one very much.
it's a smart one too because they talk about like really intelligent stuff. Like at the end, they're like, "Don't get close to me. Like I have like radiation. Like it's like stuff you don't think about. Like other
Yeah,
movies. You see like in like the Kiru movies. Like someone's on top of Godzilla. Like their skin should be like peeling off, and they should have
really
like
good
all
Mega
sorts of like
Garrett.
terminal cancers.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
Godzilla
you'll
night,
love.
like the Return of Godzilla had like the like sea lice and all that. Like I like that type of stuff where it's like the world building, like the lore of like that
Yeah.
type of stuff. All right,
You will
so
love you will love the Gamera trilogy then, because like again, same crew, same director. It's you'll love it.
yeah, for
I can't
sure,
recommend it enough.
for sure, for sure. So this is going to be the last one. What will it be?
For the last one, I'm gonna say Godzilla minus one.
Okay, minus
And
one.
and if I had to do everything like in order from my favorite to least favorite, it would probably be number two. I think it's the best one since the original. I mean, minus one is just incredible. Like the human characters are likable and the actors who play them do an excellent job. It does a great job with again, staying true to the anti-nuclear warfare themes while also throwing in an anti message and tying that in with a kamikaze pilot who doesn't want a kamikaze. I mean, it brings all these themes together so well, and it still delivers on the action too. You get some really good destruction scenes. I mean, that atomic breath scene when he's on land, that scene is incredible. I feel like that scene alone is why it deserved the Academy Award for special effects, and they did it with like a $13 million budget. That is
Yeah,
insanely impressive.
yeah. It's funny too because the director of that, his favorite Godzilla movie is GMK. And
Yeah,
there's a lot of
yeah,
like throwbacks to GMK, like the beating
like the
heart
ending.
in both endings. Now, the first time I saw -1, I did not like it as much. I was like this overhyped. And then when I rewatched it and like really dove into like the story and the characters, I actually like really like it. Definitely top five for me. But then
Yeah, it's
again,
a good one.
I just got done watching like the American like Kong versus like Godzilla like recent films like the popcorn blockbuster Godzillas. So after I saw like this like ADHD action fest, I watched Godzilla -1 and I was like, man, like that was okay, I guess. But then when I actually like took like, an ADHD pill and sat down and, could focus on the story and the characters, I was like, yeah, this deserves all the Academy Awards.
Yeah, I will say I also do enjoy I love the Godzilla Kong movies. In fact, New Empire is my favorite MonsterVerse film so far. I love how
Yeah.
batshit
I mean,
insane it is.
they're fun like popcorn movies, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like they're fun like
yeah,
blockbuster popcorn movies, just, who cares? That's when it's like I just want to see Godzilla, run through the city and sucker punch a monster and then, it's like that type of Godzilla movie. But I'm
yeah.
surprised. I'm surprised there's no Final Wars for you. I'm
I, I
surprised.
I love Final Wars is a fun movie. I do love Final Wars very much. It might not be in my top 10, but I do think it's a very fun film. I just love how batshit over the top it is. It's totally cheesy and it's self-aware that it's cheesy and just
Oh
owns
yeah.
it. That's also what I liked about the Godzilla Kong movies. Those and Final Wars are like self-aware that they're over the top and they're goofy and they just own it.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate that.
Yeah, so it seems like your least favorite Godzilla, not even on this list. Godzilla 2000. Purple Spike shoots red, orange heat wave, not even on this list. No Monster SOS, no nothing. You don't have a single Godzilla 2000. You hate Millennium Godzilla.
Well, I have GMK on there.
Yeah, but that ain't that Godzilla.
No,
No,
I mean
no,
I love
the Godzilla from
actually.
Megaguirus, Orga, Kiru, Mothra, that one.
I do 2000. I do love very much, or Millennium, as some people call it.
Yeah.
That was actually the first one I saw in theaters. I saw it when I was like 7 years old. I like that one a lot, and I also like Godzilla against Mechagodzilla a lot. I just love the idea of the original Godzilla being revived as Mechagodzilla. I thought that was
And
such a
then
cool
and
concept,
then
and
going rampant.
I liked the main character in that movie too. I love how she loses everything at the beginning and she's disgraced, but as she works her way back up to the top and she manages to win against Godzilla in the end. Like she doesn't kill him, but she defeats him and saves lives. And I
Yeah.
thought her character arc was very well done.
It's like an Evangelion Godzilla crossover with like the mechs, you
Yeah,
know.
dude. I love
All
Evangelion.
right.
That's my favorite anime.
Yeah. So that is your list. The 10 best or 10 favorite Godzilla films from the Lord Kaiju of Oxygen Destroyer himself. All right. Now, do you
And
like do you like Godzilla 98 real quick? Do you like Zilla?
um uh no, I'm not a fan of that movie, but I will say I love the cartoon that followed
Yeah,
it
the
up.
animated
The
series.
cartoon was great. Yeah, the cartoon was surprisingly really good.
Yeah.
And here's the thing about the 98 movie. I think if it had been its own monster movie, it would have been more enjoyable because it does have good effects. Like the practical effects and the CGI have all aged pretty well. But yeah, and then the Godzilla's design itself, if that design was used for like the Godzillasaurus or like Godzilla before the bomb hits him, I think it would work. But in his final form, Godzilla's got to stand upright. That's my biggest thing. Like in his final form, he has to stand upright. He can't have like that Allosaurus posture. That's the part that throws me off. But if you took that 98 design and maybe made it a little thicker and had him upright more, I think it would be a pretty cool design. It has some cool ideas. I think the biggest problem is that Ronald Emmerich himself admitted he doesn't even like Godzilla. So it's like, why do you
Yeah,
even?
it's like how can
It's
you
like
yeah.
you got someone that doesn't like Godzilla to make a Godzilla movie. Of course, like what the hell were y'all thinking?
Well, I was reading the script for what was going to be the second American Godzilla, and it was like very similar, like Megaguirus, where it was like a bunch of like these like
Mm-hmm.
insects came out, and they were all the insects were gonna like form like this big insect monster, and Godzilla was gonna like breathe fire, and there was gonna be a lot more of like that like Godzilla elements, but we never really got that. Um, okay. So, and then no Shin Godzilla. That's another
You know,
surprising one.
Shin Godzilla probably would have been on my top 10 if it wasn't for -1, because Shin
Yeah, that's
Godzilla
number
does.
11. That's
That's
number
probably number
11.
11. Yeah, I love Shin Godzilla. It's
Yeah,
great.
Shin Godzilla was cool. And then we have, of course, Godzilla minus zero coming out soon. So maybe
Very
we'll have
stoked.
you back on the talk if Godzilla minus zero was a hero or a zero. Who do you think's gonna be it? Who do you think the monster is? Ghidorah, Space Godzilla, King Ghidorah, who's it gonna be?
Well, my theory is I think it's just going to be another solo Godzilla movie. I'm starting to think that, and I think if you think about it, they've never done that before. They've never followed up a solo Godzilla film with another solo Godzilla movie. So, I mean, if there is another monster, though, I'd be stoked as. But I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't really seem like there is gonna be another monster. But
Didn't
who
they
knows?
confirm though that there's gonna be a monster he fights, or is that just like
Maybe.
rumors?
It's hard to. That's the thing, man. It's hard to tell when like it's legit or if it's just like a trust me bro source. It's yeah, I don't know. But if it is another solo Godzilla movie and it has a strong story and can like out what's the word, like outdo the action scenes from the first one, I think it can be awesome. I mean, getting if we're gonna see -1 Godzilla fight New York, I think that's gonna be really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we do get another monster, I guess my guess would probably be King Ghidorah because, um, I mean, I'm reaching here, but that very first teaser poster with the cloud shots, you see a blue light in it, and you also see yellow lights. Maybe that's implying you're seeing Godzilla and Ghidorah's, breath
Perhaps,
attack.
perhaps, perhaps.
And the director also made that Godzilla ride years ago where he fought King Ghidorah. So he already has an existing King Ghidorah that he's made that's really cool. So maybe he'll do that. And another crazy theory I have is that part in the trailer where you see like those gravity, like those blue gravity beams or
Yeah,
whatever
what's
they
all
are.
that about?
Maybe that's actually King Ghidorah, and in the final cut of the film, all that's going to be yellow. Yeah, but who knows? I mean, who
Who
knows?
knows? What about the new Godzilla Kong Supernova? Pretty much like 99% confirmed Space Godzilla.
It's Space
Um,
Godzilla. We all
yeah.
know it's going to be Space, and I cannot wait. I never thought we would see Space Godzilla in another movie. And even if versus Space Godzilla is like maybe bottom 10 for me, I still enjoy it, and I still think Space Godzilla himself is cool. And maybe they could bring him to his full potential with this next one.
I'm just tired of Kong getting the final blow on all the Godzilla enemies.
Well, I mean, I'm a big King Kong fan too. I mean, so like my first kaiju movie ever was the original King
Yeah.
Kong versus Godzilla. So I discovered them both at once. I mean, I definitely prefer Godzilla more, but I'm still a big King Kong fan as well. And that's just it, is, seeing multiple films with Kong and Godzilla like teaming up to fight other monsters. It's like a dream come true for me. That
Yeah.
is something I never thought we would see. Like getting to see them on screen together again in general or fight again, that's one thing. But now we're getting all these team up movies. Like it's
Yeah.
just so fucking cool, man. You know what I want to see in the next one? I want there to be a part where Kong rips off Space Godzilla's crystal shoulder and whacks him with it. I want to see crazy shit, man. I want to see Space Godzilla like raining down those crystal missiles and have Godzilla and Kong like jumping on them Contra level style when you're jumping on the missiles and shit.
That'd be cool if like they like Space Godzilla could like talk to humans or like something
Yeah.
if they could like understand it. And then like
He
space like
telepathy.
I want some like crazy plot twist like Space Godzilla is like the father of like our Godzilla and he like sent Godzilla to Earth to like destroy it or something. Like like some like
Oh,
crazy
dang.
lore drop like this whole
Oh,
time like
wow.
Godzilla's been like an alien or like
Oh, man.
something or you know what I mean like some crazy plot twist.
Yeah. I don't know if I want Godzilla to be an alien, but I mean, I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
That is one
something
thing though.
crazy.
What is Space Godzilla's origin gonna be? That's one thing I thought about. Because in the Heisei era, it kind of makes sense, because there were two occasions where Godzilla's cells ended up in space. When does that happen in the MonsterVerse? I think the closest we got to that was maybe when Ghidorah brought Godzilla like up into the atmosphere and
Yeah,
then
but that's
dropped
like
him.
not enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or maybe they're just gonna say there was like there was a battle from centuries ago where he ended up in space, or
or
I don't know.
something. Who knows?
Wouldn't it be hilarious if it turns out it's not Space Godzilla? This whole time we've all been so sure it's Space Godzilla, and then it's not.
Well, too, we're gonna have like all of like the like Kong family there. Like, there's gonna be the ice dragon. The what's that guy's name again? It was like,
Yamu.
yeah, like I think Mothra's still alive, and then I think Rodan's still alive now. Like he was like dead or something. Then he was in like the Monarch thing. I don't know. I don't watch, but it was like Rodan's back or like he something. But there's gonna be there's like a lot of monsters, and I feel like if we don't see them all, it's gonna be like, well, why weren't they helping Godzilla and Kong fighting this guy? They're probably gonna be like,
Mhm.
oh, well, they all like gotta protect like the Middle Earth I don't know. It's
You know what they
who knows?
should
It's
do?
Godzilla. It's Godzilla.
What?
Anything could happen. Freaking John Cena could come out and body slam Space Godzilla. Nothing's no nothing's not allowed. It's the world of Godzilla. We have
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. You know what I want them to do? Okay, like when I'm sure at some point the MonsterVerse will end. For the final film, they should do a MonsterVerse version of Destroy All Monsters. Bring in the Exilians, just bring in the aliens, bring in the flying saucers,
I
and
always wanted just like a Godzilla versus Godzilla film, not like Godzilla versus like Godzilla's like plant clone, like Godzilla versus robot God, like a Godzilla versus like another Godzilla species. You know what I mean? Like I always
yeah,
wanted like two Godzillas to just fight.
yeah. I mean, I guess the closest we got to that was technically against Mechagodzilla, since that is the original Godzilla. It's just he's revived as Mechagodzilla. But yeah, yeah, that's a good point. We never gotten that. There's theories that maybe we will get that in minus zero, but we'll see. Yeah, but yeah, I really hope the MonsterVerse does like its own destroy all monsters. And imagine how cool it would be if like the final battle was like Godzilla, Rodan, Ghidorah, Mothra, Kong, Shimu, the baby Kong, and Behemoth, the
They would
giant
have, yeah,
mammoth
they'd have to be
Behemoth,
fighting
and the
like
Muto,
Bagon or like
and
Super
have
Godzilla
yeah,
X with like the green
it's
arm guards type of
it's
deal or some type of, Shin Godzilla, Planet
it,
Godzilla, something. Who
it's got to be one of two monsters. It's either got to be Destroya or it's got to be
Destroyer?
Mecha King Ghidorah. Just do because I think that skeleton, that Ghidorah skeleton
I
from
think it's
Versus
still out
Kong
there. I
is
think.
still out there, and who knows? Maybe they give him three metal heads, or I don't know. It would be I would be stoked to see Ghidorah come back because I'll admit King of the Monsters is actually my least favorite of
Yeah,
the
that's the worst of
monsters.
the bunch.
Yeah, I just I liked the way Ghidorah looked, but I didn't think the fight choreography in that movie was very good.
Nah.
It's like I want to see a fight with that Ghidorah that's done on the same level as the Godzilla Kong movies because those fight scenes are so much better. I mean, you
Well,
can
who
actually
knows what
see.
we'll see. But
Yeah,
thanks again for your list. You heard it from the Kaiju Lord. Go listen to Oxygen Destroyer. Stop listening to Kojira. This is the true Godzilla. Ah. Ah.
yeah.
So, all right. Thanks for everything.